because I have to do all of the process. I have to do all of the work, all of the everything. They got trucks and stuff for that in normal broadcasting, like, satellite trucks and production trucks and many people out there. Well, you guys have me. Crazy Bob here, the OnCue Broadcast Network. This is a special edition of the OnCue Broadcast Network because I'm here. I'm back. I'm doing what it takes to make sure that everything gets taken care of. The names are in place. The score is correct. The Wayne Jenkins is in the house. Black Belt Billiards Master Edition coming soon. Let's have enough drills to get you through the rest of your life. How's that?
Definitely.
Did that sound like something?
Yeah, it did. I have to.
Can we get rid of? Can we get rid of every other book and just take this book to the rest of our for the rest of our practice?
Oh, there is so much in it.
How many pages is it going to be?
I'm already right at 100 pages right now, and I am still going.
Man, I was hoping you were going to say like 900 pages.
Oh, no. Well, if I had enough time, I might be able to come up with that.
I tell you
what.
what.
Right now, 100 pages worth of.
If you got me to describe every drill, then it would be 900 pages.
There you go.
I'm a wordy fellow. Oh, I tell you, the not bringing a lighter was probably one of the worst things that I've ever done. Actually, this is my plan. This is my plan. There's a lighter! Oh my God! Oh, it's so anyway, this is my plan to quit smoking. So I will announce that plan probably next week.
Good deal.
Officially, it won't be an official plan until next week. So everybody should quit smoking next week. So I guess to point out some of the stuff that's also going. So Gene Dare starts off. It's a pretty good break here. If he gets this ball to come down, then he'll be solids, and everything's looking pretty good here for him. You see anything troubled? And you can look at that. I mean, you
have to put my glasses on.
Well, so do I. Don't you see I have them?
Yes.
Because you keep sneaking over and looking at the actual table.
Yeah, it's 6-5. Everything looks like it's in the open.
It is.
Just got to get in the right spot to get to them.
There's a couple of, the 5 has some.
Yeah, the 6-5.
Yeah, both of those.
That's going to hurt.
I was afraid of that one too, actually. I thought that might be one of the tougher ones. I'm not sure what you can see there. I do love this song. I hope it's not coming through the live stream too much for you guys to like it, because they will cancel us. They will knock us out because it's a copyrighted song.
I changed the words to that song. I do it a lot.
Yeah.
I took it and I turned it around, and I'm the guy in the car.
Oh, that's good. I'm
driving around town with the girl that you love. That's
there
right.
You go. There you go.
Come on, version.
That's almost the instead of the Weird Al Yankovic version, it's the Hurricane Wayne twisted up kind of version.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
see, he got himself in trouble in that first one. So now what does? But the problem is, didn't Vince have a trouble ball there that he no longer has because of that shot?
That 9 ball sitting in between the 4 and the 6.
4 and 6 looks tough, yeah.
Unless he can shoot a combo here and get it out of there.
I don't know. We get a little better color action there from this. It's easier to see it.
Yep, that's what he's going to do.
So he's doing what? A combination?
Shoot the 9-13 combo.
Okay, that's what I thought. And as long as he has a shot after it, he's okay. But this is still iffy.
I got to go to a table and play some pool.
What we just lost was player and author Hurricane Wayne Jenkins. Get me that around the turn of the year, and I'll help you out. The Mad Dad is back. I would like to have Pat Akers and Mickey Hammond here at some point over the next 2 hours.
Over the next 2 hours?
Yeah, well, I've
We're
been 2
probably
hours
going to be here for like 3.
Well, I've got 2 more hours in me, and I've got to get back to doing some stuff for this project for next week. Are you going to be able to make it down?
Next week?
Yes.
Next week? I don't know.
5.
I normally plan ahead on Fridays when I get off work that next morning. So
I have a rule that I do not plan anything more than 24 hours in advance. Now,
yeah, I mean, it just doesn't work out for me. The only time I plan something is when I go to Terre Haute and see my family or something. That's the only time it works out.
Just know, so far it's $500 added.
Yeah, I know, man.
And $500 added.
And it's a
hard.
doubles tournament.
It's just like the See, River City Eagles. And
I got to find a partner. What's the skill level limit?
There's no human being on earth that wouldn't want to be your partner.
Whatever.
You are a loser in the national championship at.
We were
like I was.
We was bad. We wasn't even the second or the what was it?
We were
the
second
first?
loser.
Yeah, we were the second loser.
We were second loser.
We weren't even the first
third.
loser. It was horrible.
It was horrible.
I mean, I had fun. We had fun. I got to see a lot of stuff.
What a ride!
It was a lot of fun.
It was a unique ride, but it was an interesting.
It was definitely unique. I'll tell you that.
There was a lot of ups and downs and
I'll
twists.
tell you, man. This last year, I just went to Vegas. That was probably worse than the first time I went. They lost my pool cues. They lost our luggage. Our plane got. Our plane.
Who did you go with this year?
Well, we was originally going with Frontier, but then to get a flight out the next day through Southwest, we had to. I mean, we spent a lot of money to get out. I mean, they reimbursed us all back.
Yeah.
But that was a lot of money that we could have had on our person when we went there. More stuff we could have done. But it's okay. We still got out there. But as soon as we finally found a flight out, and then we got to Vegas, then they lost our pool cues. And Rogerio had he had 2 Southwests in there. So
You've got to be kidding it. He's sweating.
We was sweating. James has never cussed in his life, and I swear to God, that guy almost cussed. He almost
cussed.
went
I like
off.
that. I like that
He
idea.
almost went off.
All right.
They said, we lost your bags. I'm like, no, you didn't. We'll stay here till they find them.
I tell you what, at Southwest, it's nice you can go get them replaced out there. That's where they're made.
Yeah.
I mean, that's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy. I mean, you can get a Southwest queue there in 15 minutes, probably.
I mean, I can say I got 3 Balabushkas in my bag. Don't mean nobody ever knows it.
I guess that's how it works, isn't it?
Don't mean Southwest is going to know it.
I severely doubt that Southwest has intimate knowledge about Balabushka queues.
Oh.
But someone would if they found the luggage and found the.
If they found that luggage and there was 3 Balabushka queues in there or 3 Southwest, either or, you're coming out very on top.
I tell you what, if you got 3 Southwest queues in there, you take them to a pawn shop, they give you $100 for them. You don't feel too bad, do you?
You know what? I wouldn't feel bad at all.
Oh, God, that'd be brutal.
That would be horrible.
As is my understanding, James Ruggiero actually got a good tour of the Southwest factory out there.
When you're James Ruggiero and you have the money that he has, you can kind of tour
whatever
you want to.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, that is brutal.
I mean, I don't know what he was going to do with the 8-ball there, but that was a
He
tough
was going to
shot.
just easily carry that into the side pocket like everybody else would. I've never missed that shot in my life.
I mean, hey, I do a lot of stuff in my dreams. But
Donald Phelps says, "What's up, Bob?" I tell you what, drop ceiling and a security camera. That's about it.
That's about it. Bob, everybody comes here to talk to you. We're just
Well, I do
the
appreciate
random
that.
announcers for like a couple minutes until we have to leave.
And I am a special guest here today, one time only. May never announce again in my life. May never run a tournament again in my life. After next Saturday, $500 added, by the way.
$500. Everybody has got to come out to that, support a good cause, have some fun.
Yeah,
eat
Chemo
some
Buddies
food.
is the cause. Matching
Yes.
everything you donate, which everything will be voluntary that you donate. It will go to Chemo Buddies, and that is in honor of Terry.
We gotta get out. I gotta get out of the way.
Oh, hey.
man. Here he comes.
All right, we are back to supporting the accessibility options here at the O'Briens. And since we blocked that thing up for people, we need to also clear.
Get out of the way.
And we are officially back.
Well, race to 5. I play the winner of this round.
Really?
Yeah, I play the winner of this, and
That's getting
that
somewhere.
Will
That's
be
getting
the,
close to the.
That'll be the hot seat. Yeah.
All right. So you are familiar with Fargo rate, right? This is a Fargo
Nope,
rate
this
enabled.
is my first one.
Well, you've got. Do you have a Fargo?
I
rate?
have a Fargo rate. I have like 160 something robustness or something, but
Okay, so
I
you're
mean,
just
I've
under.
been playing for a while. I'm just under 200, but I'm still playing, trying to.
Okay. Yeah, you will be established probably after this tournament.
Yeah, I'm gonna be established, and you'll never see me on a. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never see me play again. No.
Oh, I tell you. Well, I mean, it's just.
I don't do a lot of tournaments. I really don't. I'm more come out when the tournaments are around just to hang out with everybody and see everybody.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, the pool community here in the tri-state area is really a great thing. I mean,
Yes, it is.
And a lot of the stuff that OnCue has done, and people like James and people like. James helped out with the cart and stuff, so we had the ability to get the tables there at the pub and all of that stuff. You guys both coming down, I mean, week in and week out, just to help with the team to really put the run on that really started a lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there was taking that from that to a world championship the next year. you really put a lot of stuff that Evansville was doing on the map.
Right.
So that was a nice shot there.
That was a great shot by Vince.
And guess what Vince has? He's got a beak, and that beak is wet. He is the first one to strike a blow here in this match. 1-0 Vince Parsons versus Gene Lauderdale out of Southern Illinois.
I don't think I've ever met Gene before.
Well, that's one thing that I have that a lot of people don't. Live stream announcing experience in Benton, Illinois.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of that, actually. So those people, a lot of people, there's a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of great play out there. And a lot of people didn't know about a lot of it because, well, it really wasn't a broadcaster done anything with. For a little while there, the OnCue broadcasts were absolutely watched by everyone. I mean, it was just an incredible experience because, me, I don't know anything about Benton, Illinois. I don't know nothing from Adam, right?
I don't know nothing about Illinois.
And I didn't know that. But we thought,
Wow.
I thought,
Look at this table.
we'll go get our practice there. Nobody will watch, and we could make all our mistakes and get our feet underneath us.
Right.
But that wasn't the case at all. We had terrible live streams for these great players, and all of a sudden we had a huge audience. I mean, we've had over 3 million video views since we started doing this.
That's awesome.
Can you believe that?
I can believe it. Yeah, everybody likes tuning into OnCue Billiards.
I mean, I think so. It's one of those things that when people say pool is dead and when people say that there's no excitement around pool, they're not talking about Mike France. He's got excitement. He just pointed at me. They're not talking about Jim Kissinger. They're not talking about Bobby Ally. These guys are players, and they're excited about pool, and they really put the hours and everything in at the practice table to make sure that they put on a good show for all of us. Well, except Bobby Ally. He doesn't really do that. He just is a natural, and he plays well.
He's just a
no matter
natural,
what.
nice guy. He's just all around a good
really,
person.
really been happy to meet him. That's one of those things that I'm blessed in my role here because does he have enough to get through? Because can he see this ball? I don't think so.
I can't tell from this angle.
Well, we need another angle. He's got it. He's got
looks
it.
like he can see it pretty good. Oh yeah,
and he comes off the rail. Maybe,
a little dead.
I think
He needed to be towards the more of the middle
he
of the
another
table.
3 or 4 inches. I never heard that before. Crazy Bob here, the OnCue Broadcast Network again.
There we go.
He's going around.
That's a good shot.
It's a good shot, but it does give him a gut check shot.
It does give you a difficult cut shot, but at least he's still at the table shooting.
Speaking of Southern Illinois, Steve McInnes joins the broadcast. Welcome, Steve McInnes, another ex-teammate of ours.
And they're beautiful.
If you shoot like that, then you don't have to care about your leave anymore.
I don't think it really matters where you leave it if you're Vince Parsons.
You can just hop it off the table and it doesn't even matter. Just shoot it from there.
I'm pretty sure he was looking at us when he made that 8-ball cut.
It's possible. It's possible. Todd Higgs, also a member. We had an earlier member here that was in the board of advisors there for the OnCue Pool League when we started. I guess Todd came on a little bit later, but guy that I really respect his opinion about things. He gives you the straight up information just the way you need it. And Terry was also, in fact, Terry at one point was my right hand man on the board of advisors. So that memorial tournament is going to be something to see. Come on, get it done. Gene gives me a wave. I haven't seen Gene in a long time, so it's nice to see him out here.
I'm feeling pretty good right now. How you feeling? You feeling all right?
I'm feeling like if I was doing as well as the Mad Dad, Tyler Cordova,
man,
then I'd be doing really well. But
I'll be doing a lot better if I win the next one, and then the next one after that. Then I'll be doing.
What'd you go in Calcutta for? Calcutta?
$30.
I'll tell you what. Did you get yourself?
No, somebody else bought me.
That's terrible. You need to have
I almost thought about buying myself for $40, but I'm like, you know what? It was one of my buddies who bought me, and I don't like to bid against my friends, so I'll let him get half the action.
I was going to say, tell me next time, and I will kneel down behind him, and then you can push him over and get the and get what you need.
Get the full amount.
It won't be you doing it; it'll just be me.
As long as it's not me, technically it doesn't count.
There you go. Jason Hensley joins the program. Welcome, Jason. I
saw
that
Jason?
You and Anisha are going to be signed up for next week's tournament. And like I said, this is a tournament that we're, no matter what has happened over the course of the past few years, we have Chuck and Tina Austin are supporting the tournament. Mickey and Pat are supporting the tournament. Everybody liked Terry. I mean, not everybody liked Terry, but everybody respected. Everybody wanted to be helpful in doing the things that he wanted to have done, because we all had the same goals: bring big tournaments, bring excellent places to play, table accessibility, table playability. These are the things that he worked hard at and spent money doing. I mean, these 8 tables we're going to play on, these are tables that we purchased specifically so we could have these kinds of tournaments. So staying true to his wishes, we are going with money added. We are going with excitement, and we are going with a format that he played himself often. So it's good. It's a good deal. While I'm sad at the loss of Terry, I'm happy to know that because of the efforts he put forth and the money that he put forth, we have this opportunity to have these awesome events, at least for now. So thank you, Terry. Plus, I'm gonna try to find me some pink Crocs to wear.
So my dad just texted me, Tony Cordova.
The Mad Dad.
He said, "What's up, Mad Dad?" And then he put the LOL in caps, like what a lot of old people do. Sorry. I know he's listening.
Oh, there you go. Well,
got him.
The original Mad Dad is out there.
The original. I'll text him that. You are the original.
We'll call him Mad Dad Jr.
Mad Dad. Mad Dad Dova. There.
Ooh, there we go.
There we go. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Mad Dog Dova doesn't sound terrible
Mad
either.
Dog doesn't sound that bad. It does
But it's
not.
just so many people use it. I don't like it.
My nickname all through high school was Dova. So I mean.
Dova's.
Yep.
Dova's one that's very descriptive. It's one that will give you a full idea of who you're talking about. When they say Crazy Bob, they don't know it's me. There's just
everybody knows it's you. It doesn't matter if you think people don't know it's you. They
oh,
know
really?
it's
I didn't
you.
know that. I didn't know that they were aware.
Everybody knows.
So Crazy Bob is one of those things that people called me Crazy Bob a long time ago. And every once in a while they say, well, why? People don't ask this anymore. They used to. Why do they call you Crazy Bob? And I'd be like, well...
Look, look at this. We got Kevin Cavanaugh, Jonathan Taylor, James Ruggiero, Mr. Spaghetti-O Ruggiero, Brandon Phillips, TJ Ham. Everybody's joining right now.
There is no human being on earth that doesn't have access to this.
James Ruggiero, he just sounds like a mafia man. He just doesn't that name sound like something that you'd be like, you know what? I don't want to mess with that guy.
I tell you what, when he
until you meet him.
when he would play on our team, he looked like every shot he played.
Yeah.
He looked exactly like Charlie Brown right before.
Charlie Brown.
Right. I'm just telling you, Charlie Brown right after Lucy would pull the football out from under him.
That is awesome.
He did it. I mean,
remember that time he booted his phone? Boom,
yes,
Charlie Brown, right
Charlie
there.
Brown. Except he
Charlie
made
Brown,
contact.
it's in him. He did make contact that time.
But there was just and it's a long story, but
can you get through? Can you get up? Oh.
That was not gonna be easy, and easy it was not.
Well,
that's all right.
There goes some curtains. We'll take care of it.
That's all right. No matter what happens from here, we'll make it happen. Nobody needs blackout curtains in the middle of the night anyway. Oh, by the way, these blackout curtains. Whew, what a great idea, wasn't it?
Definitely. Michael J. Thomas, Dennis Parton, Steve McKinnon. What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining this OnCue Billiards live broadcast. We got Vince Parsons and Gene Lauderdale playing right now. Race to 5. This is still in the winner's bracket.
Dennis Parton. Oh, my gosh. Dennis Parton. That's a guy. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. I say that. It's not really a name I haven't heard in a while. I've heard it pretty recently. Dennis Parton was part of the Under Pressure team that we put on the year after that we played together. Dova, the Mad Dad.
I don't know if I ever played him back then when I first started coming to Evansville.
Oh, I did. He was terrible. God, he was one of the worst players I've ever seen in my life. I thought, my God, if Dennis Parton could play like this, then we will have him a 3 for life.
Our viewers are going to go from 39 to 38, and Dennis is going to text us. You know what, guys?
I talked a little bit about it, yeah. But I would like to have you and Pat on at some point. So
I'm ready to get back on with you.
All right, well, let's kick the Mad Dad out of here.
We're going to kick me out because I'm going to go start. I'm going to go start warming up.
Yeah,
all right, guys.
All right.
Nice meeting with everybody.
All
Bob,
right.
I'll see you
Always
later.
good to see you, Mad Dad.
I'll see you on the TV table.
All right.
I said, why Mad Dad? I said, Bob gave us some crazy things. I thought maybe you know his dad.
He's the original madman. Now this is a defense. Did he get a rail? I think he probably did. It's hard to say.
All right, Mickey Hammond back at you.
All right, did he get a rail? Let's look.
Someone's conceding, so no.
So no, he probably didn't get a rail. Oh Lord, but Gene is in the mix. He's back. Well, I tell you what, Vince Parsons understands what it's like to come back from in a 5-5 race and
to win 5-0.
Well, yeah, I mean from that point, yeah, absolutely it was. You know, he was down 3-0, wasn't he?
Yeah, 3-0, won 5-3.
It was an amazing match. I mean, I'm not sure everybody out there thinks it's amazing, but at least he does for sure, and we do too as viewers. But Dennis Parton is my partner here on the Pocket City pool stuff that we've been doing, and so I like to see him on the mix. And one of the things that I wanted to say about really this ride that we've been on from, I mean, hell, what was OnCue Billiards started in 2013? Is it 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Well, the thing about OnCue Billiards is really the brainchild. The name, everything comes from Steve Boyer. Steve Boyer is a friend of mine for really quite some time. I mean, that 5-year run, he's the founder of OnCue Billiards. Everything that has transpired from that, whether it was obviously was lessons to begin with, for those who know, and then it went to Q Repair, and then bringing on the real big jump in functionality and things that OnCue was providing was when we brought on Mickey and Pat. When was that? 2016.
Yeah, 2016, around March or so.
So we're talking about 2 years out of the 5. 2.5 years, I guess. It's about half the time, right? So half the time it was just me and Boyer. The other half it was basically you guys on the front scene. Everything that's happened is because 4 friends, 4 people who decided to put their efforts together as a team, as a group. You know, every time you're with people, we always call it the OnCue family. At least that was my term for it. The OnCue family has done great things over the course of this 5 years, and it always doesn't. Any kind of family, you know, you don't always get along, and everything's not perfect at any given time. But just know that I, for one, really appreciate everything that everybody has done to really bring pool. I can't tell you how many times people have told me that the excitement in pool has never been this great in the. Now that was something scary. Did anybody see that on the screen?
Is there a bird in the room?
Well, at least I know that I'm not crazy because look at that. Oh, there it is again. Oh,
yeah, there's a bird flying around in the room.
It's not a bird. There's no way that's a bird.
I seen wings flapping in front of our camera.
It's got to be a moth. I think Bobby Ally turned into a.
Well, I guess it was right in front of it. It could be as big as a bird.
Bobby Ally turned into a moth while he was watching Wayne Jenkins play.
That's what it is.
And he is torturing us now with haunting us with the. Flittering of his wings in front of the screen. That's about the 5th time it's happened, just so you know. So I wasn't worried about it.
But anyway.
Back to the point, though, I just can't tell you how many times people have brought up to me that really things were just dead for a certain period of time. And that OnCue Billiards and the things that these live streams and these big tournaments that Mickey puts on, the work that Pat did to put the live streams together, the work that Boyer did to help with designing and helping the Fargo rate enabling stuff, and the league as well. All of those things could not have been done without each person's dedicated effort. They didn't just spend effort; they spent time, they spent money, they spent brain power, let's say. They did all of these things because they cared. Well, the other person that also did a lot of stuff like that was Terry Smith. He did a lot of time, spent a lot of time talking with people, whether it was giving his feedback to the leagues that he was in, whether it was supporting people. Then we talked about that earlier, whether it was backing you guys in your matches, we'll say, or backing teams to go to Vegas.
Sponsoring to go to Vegas, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Yeah, Terry, he's a true lover of pool at all levels. He wanted the pro scene to come in for a nice big tournament here, but he loves pool at all levels.
Absolutely, and he absolutely loved what OnCue was doing. and that's something to point out because I feel honored to be a part of and run the tournament that is the Memorial Tournament. We had a very special relationship, and it was based around pool, and it was based around we had similar similar feelings about books and videos that we liked, and the ways that he liked the pattern play book from Zero X Billiards. And when I went and first met him the first time, he had all the little donuts, the little page donuts on the table, and it was the same thing I did for my practice before we went to Vegas.
I've seen his table set up with that way with his little.
But what he did was he color coded them.
Yep.
It was different than the way I did it at Boyer's, which was to just have the white ones, and I knew where they were. Right. I would do one a day. He has several up there, several drills up there. He would change them from week to week or month to month, depending on where he was in the book. And that summer before, or that time before we went out to Vegas in the 2015 and came in third, that we were talking about earlier with Cordova, I managed to work through the pattern playbook entirely. Before that, on Boyer's table, we called it the woodshed. It's a long story about all that, but just know all of these things came together in a way that were really magical, and it didn't just happen with just that 4 people. People joined us all along the process, like a Lewis Higgins, for instance. I mean, he did everything he could to, to make our egos better because he'd let us beat him. What did Lewis Higgins do? I mean, he was he just stayed behind me, so I'm kidding him.
Well, you joke about that, but really you can give people credit for the start and the regrowth or rebirth of pool in Evansville.
People say pool's dead. I don't believe them.
No, it was the people that believed in it that kept it going.
Oh, it was the people like you guys out there, all 41 of you who are going to share this right now to make sure it's 82 in a minute, and then it's going to be 164. And before you know it, Kevin Bacon,
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon. You get to 6 degrees, you've got Kevin Bacon watching this thing.
I see.
We're going to have everybody on Earth. I mean, even Lewis Higgins is going to be able to see this. Oh, he stayed behind me again. He's scary. He's scary when he looks at me like that.
But it really is true that the people that signed up to play in the tournaments and get in action and that joined the BCA leagues.
It's not about me. That's kind of one of those things. That's what I think Mickey's getting at. It's not about me. It's about we. Everybody who did these things, everybody who helped carry us helped us carry something in, everybody who. Molly Hahn, who spent time doing all sorts of things to help out with people that are really underappreciated. And it's, but you can't tell everybody. You can't say everybody. I mean, Terry Kurt's a good example. He gave me the phrase, "That's cooler than a bucket of sherbet."
He did.
You just cannot. You can't express that. The thanks that I have enough for Terry Kurt. Along this ride, it's magical moments like that made friends become, better friends. And it made people who weren't friends become friends. It made friends become enemies. And then it made them become friends again. It's one of those things that the love of pool, sometimes things get twisted from time to time. And it's that twisting that happens that makes you appreciate when things are good. And it makes you appreciate the things that were built. And when someone passes like Terry, really more than anything in the world, and this is what I've been instructed what to do to run his tournament. I mean, he told me what to do, and what he wanted was large money ahead. So I went with selling sponsorships to do large money ahead. We got $500 so far. We're going to get more. I promise you well, I can't promise it, but I'll promise you I will do what I can to get more.
I think it's a solid promise. And so this tournament, Bob, what's the details? How does someone register to get in it?
The details are I have no idea. Yeah, I probably do.
Yeah, you probably do on this one.
Yeah, hell, you could post something in here. Maybe we might talk about it.
I mean, it's a doubles format, correct?
Well, it's what I call the River City Eagles format. And I'm just calling it that because I didn't have really much time to come up and think about a unique format or do something different. I tried to go for something that everybody here in Evansville, at least, knew, and something that Terry was familiar with. Terry liked that format as well and played in it himself. So I went with something that was easy, wouldn't take too much to explain, and then tried to go with making that a so it's exactly the same. It's 12s and 11s go to 4, 10s and 9s go to 3, and 8s and below go to
So where does that
2.
where does that combined number come from? A 12 or a 10?
The combined number is I will say, because of it's not endorsed by the APA or anything like that, but it is based on APA handicaps. So that's what it's. We'll have some people there to be able to make sure that any deviations that were made at the Eagles will stick to those deviations as well, which is why I'm saying it's an Eagles format. We don't want to imply any kind of, this isn't about, different organizations or anything like that. What it is about celebrating a man's life. So it's it's a situation where using that terminology actually works out real well for everybody. So think about it. If you're an 8-ball player, if you play in the APA, then you're going to go ahead and have the 2 combined skill levels. If it's a 12 and 11, you go to 4. If it's in fact, let's go ahead and move the table if we can, just a hair. That might help this process a little bit more.
Well, we will next time if we need to do it.
So what we've got there is the so people in Evansville. It's the most common doubles format here in Evansville, so people in Evansville pretty much know it. For people who want to come out of town, just know this guy. If you don't know him, he supported the things that OnCue was about. This stuff wouldn't be what it was, and this, having the multiple runs for Mickey's teams out in Vegas wouldn't have been the same without his support.
No, you're right.
It would have been different. Would it have happened? Oh yeah, most of it. Some stuff would have happened, but it would have been different. But, there's me chewing ice on the OnCue Broadcast Network.
I hear that.
How does it sound?
Well, it sounds like you chewing ice.
Well, that's good. I hope it comes through well.
Oh, Vince, I don't know if he played it safe or he got safe.
There you go.
Either way, it's there.
In the end, the biggest thing that he wanted was, and I call it the big one, but not everybody else understands what I mean by that. But it's and he had his own name for it, but I don't listen to people, so I just call it what I call it because it's just easy for me to remember. Oh, I thought he was going to get that.
Nice shot, though.
It puts
Vince has got to make a shot.
Vince has got some gut check stuff here. Off the rail, he's got it to the side, but it's not.
Because he'll try to roll up behind the 8 just in case he misses here.
And then he'll have two rails to get to the 5, or he just slow roll it and get to the 5 inside.
Oh, but he didn't get there.
He didn't do either thing, so we missed that call. I guess there's a little bit of. It's pretty easy peasy here.
But anyway, next weekend's a celebration of the life of Terry. We hope everybody comes out. We understand there's going to be there will be a moment of silence or a moment of toast.
We don't do moments of silence. We do a toast, and we want to be loose and fun. It's informal. The family will be there. The friends will be there. So of course. We'd like anybody who would like to speak during the toast to get out there and speak who does know him. And anybody who doesn't, just listen to the stories because they're interesting. Like I said, you're talking about a guy who supported AccuStats' stuff and supported the, what were they called? Those Make It Happen tournaments.
Yep. And
he was always there with the VIPs. And if you watch the videos, you could hear him say things on them from time to time.
Well, he would go to the U.S. Open almost every year.
Yep.
To go watch.
Mm-hmm.
There was another tournament he would go up that way and watch also. I forget what it was, Tournament of the Champions or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He would go up in northeast there to watch. The guy just loved pool.
And in fact, that's the other thing that I think a lot of people don't have a good grasp of what he would do. Someone like we'll go with Tommy Coe or a couple other players that he took under his wing. Chris Thomas even helped him quite a bit. The Wyatts were good examples in my time. Now he's taken people under the wing and helped them, taught them. That information, that stuff, that's how the pool world grows over time.
Right.
That's how pool doesn't die. Is you have some people who just take the time and show some things. Just take the time. I know when I was a brand new player, I met Mickey Hammond, my broadcast partner right now, at one of the arthritis tournaments. And he was, now he's making some weird colors on the TV screen in front of me, and he looks like he's magic in what he was doing there. I'm not sure. I know you can't see this from here, but
there was something on the screen.
Oh, he was just wiping it off the screen.
I got a little OCD action going on.
But it turned into some like weird colors, like I was on an acid trip or something.
Well, that's our teleprompter. He gonna shoot the 6. Cue ball's gonna come over here.
I tell you what, if you could see that, it would be beautiful.
I know we got a little tracer here, but they just can't see it.
Yeah, that was one of the things Boyer always wanted. Was he always liked the idea of putting the it's not a teleprompter. Telestrator.
Yes.
And that's one thing he wanted to add to the OnCue live stream from an early time. And me and Pat, we talk about the overhead stream or the overhead cameras and stuff, which you see a lot. But man, it's a pain to do that.
They actually had one of the recent big tournaments that Jeremy Jones and was helping commentate, and every now and then they would
draw. Yeah, I mean, you see it every once in a while, and a lot of times when they draw, it's terrible because that's what I was always like, Boyer, man. I mean, have you ever seen me write?
Well, Mike Siegel, he kept getting on there, and he wanted the draw. He's like the John Madden.
Yeah,
he kept wanting to get on there and tell what people were going to do. And
I would love to see, like you see, like Pretty Boy Floyd. Get on there and announce it. He says the craziest stuff, and if you've got a really good announcer with him, it's amazing. It's just a lot of fun, you know. And a lot of my stuff that I attribute to where I get my ability to live stream announce is that, I was brought up effectively. My babysitter was being in a bassinet watching The Young and the Restless.
Oh God, that's horrible.
Yeah, I'm a tortured soul. So what happens is that I can discuss just about any weird thing in the world because, once I got away from that torturous hell, I just put myself out there in the world and breathed in every interesting thing that was not horrible drama after that. But as it turns out, that was useful too because, I don't know, everybody likes drama, Young and the Restless, don't they?
So it's everybody.
I don't know. Do you remember when
there may be a couple people.
Sven buried Lauren alive? Oh my gosh, it was so terrible. I can't believe he did that.
God, I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
My mother used to watch soap operas. There's nothing I hated worse.
Oh, yeah, that's what.
When I was out of school and she had the soap operas on, and
when my mother got a VCR, that was the worst thing that ever happened to me. She was absolutely she tortured me with The Young and the Restless. But I mean, like I said, I do have that 25-year knowledge of it.
Well, then they came out with Knots Landing and the evening soap operas.
Yeah, but you don't have to fucking record those. They'll just turn off your A-team or whatever.
Right.
That's something I was mentioning was one of the dreams of my entire life. Actually, I mean, was wanting to fly, and Terry made that possible for me. And in fact, oh no! What a difficult shot! Oh my God! That's so terrible! That's so terrible!
Good run out.
That was gonna put him right there. Oh, so will you adjust the score to reflect that terrible thing that happened?
Well, let's take a second, Bob. I want to talk a minute about what we got going on over the next month.
What else you got?
For tournaments going here. This is obviously one of the first actual OnCue Fargo ran tournaments. It's been pretty smooth today.
Fargo ran?
Fargo rated.
What do you mean by that? Yeah.
Fargo rated, where it's a handicap that has evidence behind it that determines your skill level.
So you're talking about this is a powered by Fargo rate.
Correct.
One of the first powered by Fargo rate handicapped tournaments.
By OnCue.
By OnCue. Okay,
right.
Good.
So, the Fargo rating it's something like what APA players would know what their rating is. There's paper to back it up. So we're not just saying somebody is a 5 or an 8 or whatever the number is.
It's a unique number, right? I mean, it's in fact a larger number.
It's a larger number because
if you're a 5 in Fargo rate, you're not doing very well.
No, you're right. You're right.
I mean, I play like that, but other people don't.
Well, these numbers run anywhere from about 200 up to about 820, which is Shane Van Boning is the highest in the world. He fights for that spot back and forth. One of the Chinese guys. And,
yeah.
But this is an open Fargo where anybody can play no matter what your Fargo rate is, and there's a race for you and your opponent.
Lil Joe says he should have put low on that. Well, it's easy to say now. You should get over here and announce with me, then we could really talk about it because you got to say that right before he shoots it or something. Isn't that how
you can't tell him afterwards.
Yeah, it's hindsight's 20/20.
Now, December the 1st, we have a a max cap Fargo rated tournament, which is
I call it Fargo Max, and that's
500
my
max.
that's
Fargo
my,
Max?
I like Fargo Max because it's just a one-word thing that says it.
well, Fargo Max is what it is, a 500. So the high now it's still a handicapped throughout the event.
Okay.
But 500 is the highest it can play. For example, myself, I couldn't play. Pat Agers couldn't play. Brad Hutchins. The people that's above 500.
So 500 is a good example. Like if you would compare that to something else, what would you compare it to? Let's say APA.
If I were to compare 500 to APA, I'm going to say that you're a very
lowish 6.
You're a very good 5.
A very good 5.
Or very low 6.
Okay.
And for a 500.
And that's just an estimate. They're not related in any way. It's not something that you can actually pin down because they're based on different things.
There's a chart that kind of compares them.
They compare them, but they're just not. They're not really one of those things that are just directly related.
Yeah, and I don't know how accurate. We've used it, acclimated our own little thing to what we thought it was, and I think it works pretty well. December 15th, we have an open tournament.
Okay.
That's just open, straight up races.
But they're
no
Fargo
handicaps.
enabled, so pretty much the tournaments you put on are Fargo enabled.
Any tournament you ever play of mine is Fargo enabled, which means
so Fargo enabled means that's what
you
I was
will
gonna ask.
have a Fargo rating if you didn't when you're done with that tournament.
Okay, and people have been doing Fargo rate enabled tournaments for a long time, so about 7 years, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah, it's
people like
not
the
new.
Music City Open,
Right.
the Derby City Open. So it's a lot more established in the pros world than it is the amateurs world.
Yes, it's not new; it's just new here.
Okay.
I got my first Fargo rate from Music City Open several years ago.
Nice out there.
Gene
Gene is going to stick with the program.
Gene says I ain't done.
Yeah, I'm not done yet. I'm still battling it out. Just because I hit with low like Joe didn't want him to, he's still going to battle through this.
Now, for all the heavy hitters out there, we have an open 9-ball event in January.
January.
Well,
We can't plan anything
well-
2 days in the future.
Well,
How can we
it's-
plan January?
It's a warm-up because Music City obviously is in January, and so is Derby City.
Do you know one of the most beautiful things that we have in the entire tri-state area is access to really the premier tournament in the
You're
entire
right.
country?
You're right.
I mean, I can't think of a better tournament in the entire country than the Derby City Classic.
No.
I mean, there's some stuff that's going on. CSI is doing a lot of good stuff in Vegas with now adding some U.S. Open 8-ball, 9-ball, 10-ball championships and some other stuff. My God, what a break! Unfortunately,
Right. But you're right. We are in the heart of pool as far as big pool.
I mean, in America for sure.
It doesn't get any. I don't care about anywhere. It doesn't get any bigger in Derby City.
Derby City's as good as it gets,
I mean, any name that's anybody is there.
and even I show up sometimes.
Right. Well, I think Joe Rogan normally goes. I mean,
Well, there you go.
what's his name?
Kevin Hart's brother.
Kevin Hart's brother, the boxer. He's a great Hispanic boxer. His brother's a pool player.
You've got me lost on that one.
Well, he's actually a pool player also. He's a boxer. He's a singer. Philippines. He's from the Philippines.
Oh, Manny Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao. He was there
Wow.
couple years ago. Everybody that's
I heard he was
anybody
running
goes.
for the Senate over there.
Well, I heard something like that.
I don't know
too.
anything about that, but this is a.
I knew he was getting political. I didn't know to what extent. But
Well, I tell you what, he had a bum shoulder when he fought Money Mayweather, and I wish we would have gotten a better. I think did we watch that together?
we did. We went to Hooters and paid for the VIP package.
Let's put this out here. I want to put this out here. We want to put it out for everybody there that we are not endorsing or being sponsored by Hooters in any way,
We
shape,
are
or
not.
form. But if they would like to sponsor us for this next week's tournament, they are glad to do so. But we did enjoy one hell of a boxing match that could have
did.
been a really good boxing
We
match.
drank a lot of beer and we ate a lot of wings.
My
and
God, some of those were hot.
they were. We tried everything.
God, we tried everyone on the entire menu. That was a good time, wasn't it?
It was. We paid for the VIP package.
Yeah, thank God I didn't have to pay for it.
Well, it was a few people that paid for it, so it was pretty easy. And
It was fun. We had a lot of fun. I did
Let's
pay for
see.
some wings, but
Vince, oh mercy, we
I
may
tell
see
you
a hill
what,
match.
Good thing that you allow him to have a jump cue.
I tell you what, the guy jumps good. Now I've never seen him jump a close distance like
Well,
this.
that's such a close distance in the middle of the table.
Right.
That makes it even more tougher.
He
but,
jumps with a hand shoe. I seen him jump from
oh,
links.
look at this!
and
Throwing
he's
that,
good.
he jumps with a hand shoe.
He does.
You're throwing that out there.
I am.
Hand shoe is that they are actually one of the people who that's one of the guys who makes cues. He's out of Texas, if I'm not mistaken, and he look at this. He's got good form here. This
He
is
jumps
good.
really, really good.
This is good. Now we're not going.
This is really bad.
We're going to no longer talk about hand-shoe jump cues right now because right now we do not want to in any way affiliate them with that shot.
Well, that was absolutely because of the jump stick.
Anyway, is it Ray handshoe? I don't know. I can't remember offhand. It starts with an R, but
I just think of peanuts all the time when I hear hand shoe.
Why?
Because I think of cashews.
But then wouldn't you think of cashews instead of peanuts?
Shoe. Well, you don't hear too many words. You got the SHEW in it.
No, you really don't. You really don't.
Why my dad used to get the mixed nuts. He'd take everything out but the cashews and eat the cashews.
And then give you the rest of them?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
You know, it is what it is.
Hey, we're throwing this out to Thomas Hammond out there. I tell you what.
I like peanuts.
When I went to his place for the first time, I ended up in a cemetery ditch. So weird stuff's going on over there.
Did you get arrested that night?
I did not get arrested at
That's
all.
good.
It was one of those things that your brother and Pat and they all decided once they heard that someone was in a cemetery ditch in Mount Carmel. They heard that they feared it must be me, so they came out and got me.
Gene just missed a pretty routine
I saw that,
shot.
yeah.
And left us sitting, and there you have it.
There you go. In
Vince,
fact, one of the early Derby cities that I went to, Vince went there, and he got his first OBQ there.
Right.
And I've heard that there's some OB related repair people in this town. They've got OB.
There is somebody.
What do they call that? OB repair specialist? I don't know. I can't remember.
Well, they're authorized.
Authorized. Okay, well, we'll go with that. I can't remember. It's one of those things. I like to say that because I now shoot with an OB shaft myself, and I used to shoot with a BOB shaft. And
BOB.
Well, yeah, BOB. I mean, you're familiar with that spell, right?
I've seen the BOB shaft, yes.
I've seen a BOB shaft, too. And I was at a BOB lounge, and
Terry Curtis shooting with an OB shaft right now.
there you go.
You mean like right now?
Well,
or?
you should turn off the live stream and actually pay attention to your game.
Right.
That's cooler than a bucket of sherbet.
That's right. Well, we got that match there's over. We see who's coming up here. I don't know.
We have no idea. But anyway, the thing is that everybody, and really what we're getting at, it's that at a moment when you have a loss like Terry's, all of these things that Mickey's talking about, all of the things that, like I said, people have come to me and said, thank you for doing all of these things. It really points out a moment, and the loss of Terry says, this is a time to reflect on it and to see the positive things that have happened and to celebrate the life. But not only that,